But I kind of want to jump into this 87K in 30 days. That's the real thing that I wanted to bring you on here for, because that's what people be wanting to hear about. They want to hear about those big boy months. They want to know how they can go out here and get these high 5-figure, 6-figure months, and really start to transform their lives and their families' lives. So let's kind of get into that 87K in 30 days. Like, how did that actually come about? Give us the details, all of that.
So yeah, that was a great month. That came from me helping other people get what they want. So these were all deals that I did with clients, and it was only a total of 3 deals. We didn't
Mm,
shell out a bunch of deals. These were people that came and asked me for guidance. Two of them were individuals that had never closed a deal before, and another one was actually an established company that just needed some guidance hitting their desired marks. So what I do when people are getting into this is essentially we're going to set up a business for you. We're going to put people in place to work for you. It's all pertaining to your budget. And if you have the money to do it, then it's very, very easy to structure. It does take some time, but once these people are in place and they're trained and you're actually overseeing them, tracking your KPIs, and just following my instructions, then you're going to see some results. You're going to see some changes. So all in all, there were two people that had never closed a deal before. I helped them with the interviewing process and the setup of their business. I
mm,
helped them with their social media presence, which is very important, which is something that I learned from you.
right
Um,
now.
Appearing properly online because people are going to look you up.
Hmm.
So with me, I don't go after small deals because for me, it's just a conversation. The difference between a $2,000 deal and a $20,000 deal, honestly, is just a zero. And you have to really believe that you deserve 20,000 versus you thinking, let me get this 2,000. No, shoot for the moon.
Right.
So I showed them what markets to go into so we can get some higher margins. And that's what we did. One of my clients, his first deal that we closed, that one was 42,500 on his first one. Um,
Sheesh.
my other client, he had already had his business running. Our first deal that we did was 35,000. And
Okay.
there was another gentleman who was, man, he's a go-getter. He's a go-getter. I love this guy to death. His first deal was 10,000,
Okay.
right out the gate. So and they're still closing deals. They're doing well on their own without me, just being able to go through the program, get that first deal, see what a business structure looks like, and then just managing your business.
Mm. Man, that's deep, man. So 3 deals. Where were these deals located? What is like a particular part of the nation? You said it like you like to go after these bigger deals. Is it like was there a specific part of the nation that those deals came from?
So this was in the market that they picked. One of them was in Richmond. 35 was in Richmond. The 42,500 was in Dallas. Well, Carrollton, which is right outside of Dallas,
Right.
and the $10,000 deal was in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Okay, right. So kind of all over the nation, like a
Yeah,
virtual aspect.
exactly, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, that's real interesting. So I'm curious, like, did all 3 of those deals close in those 30 days? Did you like contract them and close in the 30 days? Or did it like from the time that you initially talked to the seller to the time that it closed? Was that like what's the 30-day time frame or whatever? Is that like from contract to close, or like they just all 3 happened to close in the same month?
They just also happened to close in the same month, and they were all on 30-day agreements. So we
Mm.
each contract that we signed, we had 30 days to close it.
Right. Okay. Okay. Gotcha. That's real interesting. Yeah, man. You gotta love those big boy months, man. Those could be game changers. And 87K, like Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not always. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's always going to be out here doing big boy numbers like that. So now I'm curious. Um, after you did that 87K in 30 days or whatever, like what did you reinvest that money into or whatever afterwards? I'm curious, like in terms of the business, what did you reinvest that back into?
I reinvested that back into marketing, staffing, and just overall scaling what I already had going on.
Okay. So you spent some bread.
Yeah. I did. I didn't go crazy. I didn't go buy a new car or anything crazy like that. Mainly
Okay.
business. I did treat myself, nothing crazy. I did treat myself, nothing crazy.
As you
But
should.
I'm always focused on, I always want to put as much as my money back into my business because I know essentially that's what's going to take care of me.
Boom. That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. And I think that that's like one of the most important things, right? Is just reinvesting that money. People hear 87K, you're like, God dang, you know what I'm saying? And then they're thinking about all the things that they could do with it. They're doing the math, like, man, that translates into, XYZ per year, things of that nature. And that's totally true. That can't happen. So I'm curious though, like, because I've seen you in some really like intense conversations and phone calls and stuff like that, or like literally every day we out here in these streets or whatever, you already know. But I'm curious, like for the audience members, like, even on this podcast right now, you're coming off as very cool, calm, stoic, relaxed. I'm curious, like, where does that that confidence on those phone calls where sellers are going in on you and stuff like that, or you're handling tough conversations, like, where does that confidence come from? Because I know that, like, on those deals that you did with your clients, I think that you mentioned that like you would hop on those phone calls to help them lock up the deals and stuff like that or whatever, right? So I'm curious, like,
Oh
where does
yeah.
that confidence come from?
It just comes from my level of competence. So the first deal that I ever had on the hook, the most worst possible thing ever happened to me. It was going to be
Mm,
a $16,500 assignment. Man, and I thought that this was the deal. Like this was, I spent all this money. This was what's going to do it. The day that I'm supposed to actually, and I met with the owner. We've gone out to lunch. We've explained the agreement. I've explained the agreement. We've agreed on everything. And when I go to the house to actually sign it, the wife brought two real estate agents there. And
mm,
I go from feeling like I'm on top of the world, like I'm going to close my first deal, here we go, to just like I was depressed because I watched them just money the deal up in my face, and I didn't have the
wow.
experience or the level of competence that I do now to where I could have put both of them in their place, or I could have put both of them in a position to where they could have made money on the deal and we could have all been
Mhm,
friends. So going through that and then having to fight hard to get that first deal, it's like, what's the worst that can happen? Okay, I'm still here, I'm still alive, I'm still breathing. Let's get past the information paralysis of just watching videos for hours. And it came from
yeah,
taking action and going through the failure and realizing that that's the worst that can happen. Most of these people aren't going to want to move forward with me, but I'm looking for the ones that are,
right.
so I would say that my level of comfort on these phone calls comes from, I mean, I like to have fun, so when I get on these calls, I'm enjoying myself. I could really be myself. I'm having real conversations with these people, and I'm not worried about what if this person says this and I don't know what to say back.
Mhm.
You have to get into the information and you have to know what you're talking about, and you won't have that problem because it's going to be simple at that point. So definitely go through the failure. Don't be afraid of it because you're still going to be here after the fact. And have your information intact. Repetitions, reps in the gym. That's all this is.
Mm.
I'm not going to get out there and throw up 500 on my first lift, but after consistency, it's like, okay, I'm in the gym now, and this is my home.
Facts, facts, facts. I really like what you said there, though. Like I'm confident because I'm competent. And the only way to really get competent is by getting those repetitions in, like you mentioned. I think that that's very important, something that a lot of people don't really want to do, right? A lot of people like to start off and they just want to, let me throw a VA over here. Boom. Let me put somebody else in position over here. Boom. And they want to do as little work as possible. I think honestly, like once you get so many reps in, it's like you're eager. Like you'll wake up early. You're like Kobe and LeBron in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Like before everybody
Right,
else gets there. Like that's the level of like not even competition or whatever, but just like desire to win that you start to
right.
build up as you get all of those reps in. Would you say that? Like, is it kind of like a because you've gotten so many reps in, like, do you find yourself like waking up like hungry to make these calls, eager to make offers and stuff like that on
Oh
properties?
man. Every time I lock up a deal, I always have the same reaction. Or if I see a DocuSign thing come, you might be on the phone with me. You might say,
Right.
"Oh, woo, let's go." It's
Let's
like, where did that come
go.
from? And it's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. My bad." And then I have the same reaction. It's like a high. It's like a rush. It's like a dopamine. It's like
Yeah.
addicted to winning. They signed it. Let's go.
Let's
Let's go to the
go.
next one. So yeah, I definitely get excited to make these calls. And really, what I focus on and this is kind of where it shifted for me. I don't worry about uh I don't put my well, let me change this. I don't put my main focus on getting the deal more so than actually solving their problem. If the seller
Mm,
is like, hey, I need 400,000, I'm not going to say, well, how does 200,000 sound?
right.
That's what everyone is saying. So my main thing is, how can I solve this person's problem? What can I do to actually get them that 400? How can I put
Mm,
them in position to get that 400,000? And
right, right.
that's where my success comes from.
Very, very interesting. So, in terms of that, right? Most of the people that watch this channel are just wholesalers. That's probably the only option that most people watching this channel are coming with. Like, what? Like, maybe you can, explain to the community, like, what other options can you give to a seller, or like for them to actually be able to get this high price? Maybe they're delusional on price. Maybe it's way higher than market value. Like, what type of solutions could you possibly give to somebody like that?
So if you only have like wholesaling on your tool belt, you're going to lose a lot of money. And what
Mm,
I would do if I were brand new starting in this, I would partner with someone that has multiple exit strategies, partner with someone who understands creative finance. Because if a seller is asking for 400,000 and you're offering 200,000, you're not solving the problem. You're trying to get paid. And if you put your focus on getting paid, you're not going to close many deals. If you put your focus on, well, what can I actually do to solve this person's problem? How can I get them that 400,000? When that money transfers from A to B, you're going to be right in the middle, and that you're going to grab some on the way. Get your hand in the deal. So I would
mhm.
definitely say partner with someone that has multiple exit strategies.
Mm. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so so in terms of those like different exit strategies, like what would be something that can actually get people more money? And we ain't gotta like deep dive it like crazy or whatever, because you know what I'm saying. But like I'm curious, like what would be a strategy that you would use in a situation, let's say where it's a $400,000 property and they're asking for 400 basically, you know what I mean? But it's not
Right.
getting any traction. Maybe some numbers are a little bit different or whatever. But like in a situation where someone wants retail outside of working with an agent, are there any other options?
So there are, if someone is asking for retail, what I tend to do is put solutions on the table that are going to get them the retail value and explain to them, in order for you to get the retail value, we're going to go in and make sure that this home looks like a magazine. It's going to look like it came out of a magazine. I express to them what that looks like. Hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, if the magazine home is a 10, what would you say that yours is? And I let them tell me, oh, it doesn't have this and that. And that. Okay, I'd say it's about a 6. Okay, it's a 6, but you're asking for a 10 price. What can we do here? How can I help you get that 10 price? So I'll discuss bringing in a lender or even us funding the rehab and really push them in the direction so that they can get that 400,000.
Right, right, right. So several different exits, regardless of what that seller situation is, you still want to be the person that helps them make some money on their property, actually be able to sell the property. Basically, you're not just gonna let it go as easy as, well, you don't want to take this cash, that's it. Like you've got other options on deck, even for people that want retail price.
Right, right, exactly, exactly. So another thing too is it's going to cause everyone to have trust in you because everyone else is calling and giving the lowball offer. You need to set yourself apart. And let's say you can't help them on that property. You've presented some solutions that are helpful.
Mhm.
Ask them if they have another property for sale. Hey, look, this might not be the best one for us. We might not be a good match on this, but let me ask. You have any other properties you're looking to sell? Any of your friends looking to sell? Hey, are
Right.
you looking to buy? You got any friends looking to buy? We do hold inventory. If you're looking for something in particular, let us know and I can see if I can get my hands on that for you. So you always want to be extending your hand. Hey, look, this didn't work, but I'm still here to help you. Do you need anything else? You
Right,
know?
right, right, right.